Okay, so I'm gonna do this video. Oh, the lighting is freaking terrible in here. Hey YouTube, this is Tyler again. This video that I'm gonna do is about the Canadian accent. Now, I already did a video on Canadian accents before, basically following the whole Tumblr accent tag thing where you read a list of words and answer a bunch of stupid questions, but now I'm just sort of gonna do the sort of off the cuff kind of talk about uh, Canadian accents, a little more detailed than my other video. So, I don't know if you can tell by the way I talk, but yes, I am from Canada. I live in Guelph, and this is the way I talk. And generally, I mean, sometimes people say I have an accent. I mean, not so much in Canada, but I mean, and I've been to England, and people have mistaken me for an American because the American accent, and the Canadian accent are quite similar. Um, but I've been to places like Washington D.C., and over there people said that I had an accent, even though when I was there I didn't really notice that their accent was particularly different. And then when I came back to Canada, I noticed that Canadian sounded really different. Because I wasn't for about 3 months I haven't watched any Canadian TV or watched Canadian newscasters, and then when I came back to Canada and heard them talk, it was like, whoa, there it is. There's the Canadian accent that everyone's talking about. So, but I think there are also a lot of misconceptions about the Canadian accent that I'm going to clear up. First of all, we do not say aboot, right? We say about, right? It's different. It's not about, right? That would be the American way of saying it. About, out, flout, It's about, And for those of you who are who have trouble reproducing that sound, I mean, just let me try to slow it down for you, right? Instead of saying about, you say about. That's it, right? It's not a boot. Nobody says a boot. Okay, so the other thing about Canadian accents. See, I say about a lot, right? uh, but another thing about it is the word so, right? Or right? Sometimes I'll say so, right? The way I say it. I don't say so or like that would be American. Right? So, oh. Look how round my mouth is. I don't go, oh, oh. See the shape of my mouth? So. Stone, alone, bone. That would be the Canadian way of pronouncing the letter O. And it's a long O sound. How about the short O sound? Like hot, caught, bought. That's sort of different. I mean, a lot of people just say ah, right? Like in the word father, it's the same thing. But some Canadians go bought, caught, they make it longer. Ah, right? And certain things another thing. The letter I. If it comes before a voiceless consonant, like a K or a T or an F, like the word like, it's not like, Ike, it's like, right? And life becomes life, right? And the same thing is true about, this feature is called Canadian raising, right? Whenever, you have a vowel sound, my rabbit's out of the cage and he's circling my feet. Anyway, whenever you have, a voiceless consonant after a vowel, it sort of changes the way that vowel is pronounced. And it even happens with diphthongs, like AR, like the word car, right? If I put a T, it becomes cart, right? Now, I just said it in an American way, cart. But some Canadians say cart, star, you say star and start, and start is sometimes pronounced start. You know, but that's sort of a different thing. And there are other things, like some Canadians are real Anglophiles. They like to say things British. So, like battery becomes battery. You know, military becomes military. Lieutenant is pronounced lieutenant for some stupid reason. You know, I can't understand. You know, it's spelt lieutenant, but we say lieutenant here. Funny story, my sister, she came up from Arizona, and she was watching some ceremony where they said, Premier Kathleen Wynne is swearing in with the new lieutenant governor. And my sister's like, what's a lieutenant governor? Is there a right-handed governor? You know, instead of lieutenant, you know, she thought it said left-handed governor, you know, it's a lieutenant governor. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, words like sorry, tomorrow, borrow. Again, you'll hear that pronunciation, the American pronunciation, a lot. Sorry, tomorrow, borrow. But sometimes it's sorry, tomorrow, borrow. You know. And what else? This is sort of a small town thing. The word bag. You know, the word bag is pronounced bag. Like in Guelph, you know, if you go to Toronto, people don't say it like that. But if you go to Guelph, you know, or Kitchener, or Waterloo, Cambridge, this area, in, you know, southwestern Ontario, people say bag instead of bag, you know. And instead of saying egg, they say eggs, you know, bag, egg, you know. And bagel, though, the word bagel is pronounced bagel. So, yeah, and obviously there are things like the letter, you know, our alphabet, we call the letter Z, Z. You know, sometimes we spell words with a U, and like neighbor is spelled O-U-R at the end, color, O-U-R. You know, same thing as the British, but other than that, you know, we speak almost like Americans with the differences I just mentioned. So that should give you a rough idea of the Canadian accent. So if you ever want to imitate a Canadian convincingly, I hope this video was of some help. All right. Bye-bye.